This is going to be your new favorite cookie, the Chinese almond cookie. Imagine a cookie that's buttery like shortbread, one that's slightly sweet, and one that has a nutty aroma that hits you as soon as you take a bite. This cookie is crispy, flaky, and it even has real almond in it. And here's how we make it. The method we're going to use to make our cookies is called the creaming method. And that is taking a fat. In our case, we're using lard. That's the traditional way to make this Chinese almond cookie. We're going to add some sugar. And also brown sugar. We're going to cream the three of these things together just so that it's well combined. We're going to start on low speed and then bring this up to a high speed. What you want is the fat, whether it is lard or shortening or butter, to wrap around every grain of sugar. And the reason you want that is as the sugar melts in your cookie, you want it to create little layers, and that's what creates the flakiness in your cookie. This is coming together nicely. You're going to want it to add a little bit of air and a little bit of volume to this. I think back in the day they did this by hand. Imagine whisking all the sugar and the fat together by hand. I'm going to give this one scrape down and then turn it back on to whisk some more. Just in case there are little pieces on the side that didn't get mixed in. So far in our recipe, we have 3/4 cup of white sugar, 1/2 cup of brown sugar, and a 1/2 pound of lard. Okay, that is good and creamed, and we're gonna add in our wet ingredients. We're gonna add to this 1 egg, and let that combine totally. I'm going to add in a teaspoon of vanilla, and 1 teaspoon of almond extract. Let's give this a scrape. Okay, now with everything combined, all our liquids and our fat and our sugar, we're going to add in 2 cups of flour. We're just using all-purpose flour for this. We're going to add in a teaspoon of baking soda and a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. I'm going to put my pouring shield on, and then we're going to turn this back on. You'll want this to combine on a low speed so that you don't do magic tricks and have that poof cloud of smoke in your face. Okay, as it combines, you can turn up the speed a little bit just to get it all combined. I'm gonna give this a scrape, just so that I get all that flour that's on the side to go into the bowl. And then we want to give this one more spin, and then our cookie dough is ready, and we'll be ready to scoop and bake our cookies. Okay, that looks good. It's all well combined, and we are ready to scoop. All right, so if you haven't already, make sure your oven is preheated to 350 degrees, or if you're using convection, 325. I'm going to take all this dough now and start scooping. And the reason I scoop is so that we have an even, our cookies all look even. And a cookie scoop is best at making sure they're all the same size. And I'm going to space these a good 3 to 4 inches apart from each other. I want them to be able to have space to expand without touching each other on the sheet. And I'm also staggering them. So in one row, I'm putting 3. The next row, I'm putting 2. And then I get 3 again. Whenever you're working, work smarter, not harder. So you saw that I just turned the tray around so I don't have to reach over and plate our tray on the other side of the tray. To make sure that these cookies are golden brown, we're going to have just the egg yolk to brush on the top of each cookie. Traditionally, when you use an egg wash, you brush an egg with milk on top of whatever you're baking. That's in French cooking. In Chinese cooking, we want these to be golden brown, so we're gonna take just the egg yolk to brush. To this, we're going to garnish each cookie with a slice of almond or 2. Many times you'll see these cookies garnished with a whole blanched almond. And then for that extra bit of color, you just want to make sure you put a little more of the egg on top. These almonds are going to be beautiful and golden when they come out of the oven. Let's check and see if our oven's preheated. And we're ready to put them in the oven. I scoop my cookies on a piece of parchment paper. That helps them release from the pan easily when they're cooked. And it also makes cleanup a lot faster. I put these in the oven for, we're gonna check them at 8 minutes. We may need to turn them around so that there's even baking, even browning on the whole cookie. And I can't wait to taste them. When I was a little kid and I would visit my grandfather in his classic Chinese restaurants, he would have almond cookies just like these for his guests. And he always made them from scratch. Unfortunately, I never got his exact recipe for almond cookies. So much later on, I wanted to recreate his recipe. So I tried so many different recipes until I got the right texture, the right aroma, and the right flavor of the almond cookies that I remember having at my grandfather's restaurants. And this is this recipe. It's been right about 8 minutes now, and the cookies are browning and they're just where we want them to be. The egg yolk is starting to get really nice and golden, and they're evenly browning, so we don't need to turn them around. We're gonna leave them in for about another 3 minutes and they should be perfect. All right, it's been 11 minutes and for this size cookie, and let's see what we got. Okay, they look perfectly golden brown, and I think they are gonna be the perfect almond cookie. So we're gonna pull these out, we're gonna let them sit on the pan to cool a little bit, and then we'll get to give them a try. These cookies are definitely a Chinese American cookie. Restaurateurs, just like my grandfather, and bakery owners started making almond flavored cookies because that's just what we had available here in America. These cookies are probably descended from a Cantonese bakery cookie called hap to so, which is a walnut cookie, and it's got beautiful ridges just like these cookies do, and it's got a similar texture. Oh my goodness, this takes me back. This cookie is perfectly flaky. It's got crispiness when you first bite into it, and as it melts in your mouth, it's a little chewy, and it gives you that perfect almond aroma that just wakes up your taste buds. You gotta try this recipe.